It started with a wrong number and ended with the best advice I ever received. This is not a dramatic story. There is no miracle, no sudden success, just a simple phone call that quietly changed the way I looked at life. It was a normal evening. I was tired, scrolling on my phone, thinking about work, money, and everything I hadn't achieved yet. Then my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost ignored it, but I picked up. "Hello?" I said. There was a pause. Then an old voice replied, "Is this Daniel?" "No," I said. "You have the wrong number." "Oh," the man said softly. "I'm sorry to disturb you." I was about to hang up when he added, "I must have dialed it wrong again." Something in his voice made me pause. "It's okay," I said. "No problem." We both stayed silent for a second. Then he said, "Thank you for answering anyway." That should have been the end. But it wasn't. 2 days later, the same number called again. I smiled a little. "Wrong number again?" I asked. The old man laughed quietly. "Yes, seems so." His name was Arthur. He lived alone. His wife had passed away years ago. His children lived far away and were always busy. That call turned into a short conversation. 5 minutes. Nothing serious. But the calls continued. Once every few days. Then every evening. We never planned it. It just happened. Arthur liked to talk. He told me about his younger days. About working long hours. About chasing promotions. About always saying, "Later. Later I'll travel. Later I'll rest. Later, I'll spend time with family." I listened while doing my usual things, cooking, walking, sitting in traffic. One day he said something that stayed with me. "I was always busy building a life," he said. "I forgot to live it." I laughed politely. At that time, I didn't understand. Arthur never asked me what I did for work. Never asked how much I earned. Never asked about my achievements. One evening, I finally asked him, "Don't you want to know what I do?" He replied calmly, "No." That surprised me. "I only want to know one thing," he said. "Are you happy today?" I didn't know how to answer. I talked about goals, pressure, deadlines. He listened quietly. Then he said, "Be careful. Life has a way of turning someday into never." One night, after a long day, I told him I was exhausted. "I feel like I'm running all the time," I said, "and still going nowhere." Arthur was silent for a while. Then he asked, "When was the last time you sat with someone without checking the time?" I tried to remember. "I couldn't," he said softly. "Success is not what you collect. It's what you don't miss while collecting." That sentence stayed with me longer than any motivation video ever had. One evening, I waited for his call. It didn't come. The next day, nothing. On the third day, I called the number back for the first time. A woman answered. She said, "I'm sorry. My father passed away peacefully 2 days ago." My chest felt heavy. Before hanging up, she added, "He used to smile after every call. He said he finally had someone to talk to." A week later, a small package arrived at my address. Inside was a simple note. It said, "Thank you for picking up the wrong call. You gave an old man something precious time. Don't make the mistake I did. Live while you're building. Arthur." I sat quietly for a long time. That phone call didn't change my job overnight. It didn't make me rich. But it changed how I measured my life. I stopped rushing through conversations. I started listening more. I stopped waiting for someday. Wisdom doesn't always come from books, mentors, or success. Sometimes it comes from a wrong number, an old voice, and a reminder that time is the one thing we never get back. So if life interrupts you unexpectedly, pause. It might be teaching you something you didn't know you needed. If this story made you stop for a moment, share it with someone you care about. And, if you want more real, meaningful stories, subscribe to Tales Beyond Theory. Until next time, answer the call.